So the syllabus is linked from Canvas. And if you click on it, you'll see this. There's a welcome video there embedded. That's me at my favorite place in the whole world, which is Fiscalini Ranch. It's near Cambria at the Central Coast. We go hiking there a lot. But the syllabus has a lot of information there. If you want to read it or you have a question later, that's all there for you. And you can find that from our Canvas homepage. It says course syllabus right here under resources. I'm going to go through it in kind of a different way, kind of break it down into pieces for you. So one of the most important things is getting in touch with me. I have office hours right before this class, Monday and Wednesday, in person in my office. You can drop in, or if you feel like you need some focused time with me, then I suggest making an appointment to make sure that I block that time out just for you. And that way we're not interrupted if you're working on a coding problem or something like that. Also, I have Zoom appointments available throughout the week. So if you are at home working on something and you need help, or if you're an online student and you need something, you can schedule an appointment through Zoom with me. And that link, if you go to the syllabus, this green link right here will open up eventually. There we go. It will open up time slots where you can schedule a 30-minute meeting with me. And that'll go straight into my calendar, and then I'll send you a link to the Zoom room when it's time. So that's an easy way to schedule appointments with me. And that link, again, is right here on the syllabus anytime you need it. For online students, for face-to-face students, yes.
Are they only for on Zoom, or are they also for?
Well, during the Monday, Wednesday time block, you can schedule that time as well in person. If you want to schedule something that is in person but not during that time, I'm not necessarily closed to that idea. You'll just have to email me.
Because I have class literally from that time to that time. So
okay. So yeah, if you need to meet, maybe since you're in the in-person class, even meeting right after class or something like that would be good. But like I said, you have time during class to work on stuff. So if you have questions about something, that's a good time to get those answered as well. But if you need one-on-one time, we can set something up. Yeah, for sure. I know everybody in here actually has a life outside of this class. I know not a lot of professors like to acknowledge that, but when you leave, I know you're not just sitting around thinking about my class all the time and like doing homework for my class. You might have other things going on. So if the schedule doesn't work for you, then reach out and let me know. I'm pretty flexible. So when I communicate with you, okay, so these are the places where you need to look for communication from me. I'll communicate through Canvas announcements in our class, and those may or may not get emailed to you depending on how you have your Canvas set up. I will communicate through Canvas inbox, and I will communicate through your BC email. Those are the places where I'm going to send messages, reminders. If I'm not feeling well, I have to cancel class or something like that, that's where I'm going to send it. I highly recommend paying attention to those channels of communication. You're probably not used to that, especially if you are new to BC. You're probably not used to checking those things on the regular. So this is a good heads up for you. A lot of your professors will use those same channels. So it's a good idea to check them anyway. But if you're driving from anywhere in Bakersfield and parking your car and walking to class in the jungle that our parking lots are, right? That's a whole process. And I'd hate for you to miss an announcement that says, hey, I have to cancel class today because I'm not feeling well, and go through all of that and then show up and read a sign on the door that says, hey, class is canceled. And then you have to do all that in reverse just to get home. You wasted like half a day getting here, right? So if you check I will almost always, and unless it's some kind of crazy emergency, I will always give you like an hour plus heads up before class if I'm going to cancel class. Like if I am not feeling well, I'm not going to wait till 15 minutes before class and then email it out. I'll give you an hour's lead time unless it's an absolute emergency, but I will do my best. So my recommendation, check your messages before you get in the car to drive here or whatever transport you use, right? Your bike, bus, your scooter, whatever. Before you head up to BC, if especially if this is your only class. If it's not your only class, maybe not as critical, but I highly recommend checking those things regularly. Now, if you want to get in touch with me, there are a few different ways to do it. You can text me. You can call this number. It is a voice and text line, and it goes straight to my cell phone. If I don't recognize your number, if I don't have you in my contacts, I probably won't answer because I get about 800 stupid spam calls a day. I would spend my entire life waiting for telemarketers to start talking. You know that weird pause when a spam calls you, the robocall. So I don't usually pick up unless I know whose number that is. But if you text me, it'll go straight through. Or if you leave a voicemail, I will either text you or call you back. Okay? So that is a way to get in touch with me. Now, if you text me and say, I'm having an error with my code, and that's all you send to me, am I able to actually help given that information? No, I'm not. As much as I would love to. Now, if you text me and you say, I'm having an error with my code, here's a screenshot, that may be enough, but I may say to you, I need to see your whole code file in order to do that. So just think about like what information you're sending me and how much you're giving me to work. I'm good at programming, but I'm not like a mind reader or miraculously good. I'm not that amazing. So let's make sure you give me plenty of information to go on if you use text. If you use Canvas, inbox, or email, and you have a code related question, please always send me your code, your whole Python file. This is much better than a screenshot because this Python file, I can download to my computer and run it, and I can actually see the error you're getting. Or if it runs on my computer and you're getting an error, then I know that it's not a problem with your programming, it's a problem with how your computer's set up. So I can very quickly help you if I get that file. So that's really good. If you have a question like, when's this assignment due? Hopefully you looked at the syllabus before you emailed me because everything is on the syllabus, every due date, every single thing, or you look in Canvas. But if you have if you say, I'm sick, I can't make it to class, you can text me that. That's cool. And I will thank you for letting me know. And I will tell you, I hope you feel better and don't worry about class because being healthy is more important. Okay. So that kind of stuff, use the messaging method that seems most appropriate given what you're asking for and what you need help with. If it's something urgent, or if you're like, man, I'm on a roll, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm cooking on this assignment and I just hit a wall, I have an error, and you email me the Python file, you might want to text me and say, hey, I just emailed you this. I'm on a roll. I don't want to lose momentum. Is it possible for you to look at the thing I emailed you? That's cool too. That's valid. Okay. I want you to be able to work at a pace that makes sense to you. Okay, so attendance in this class, I think I already said this, but since you registered for a face-to-face class, you do have to come. Every class we will learn something new. We're going to move through 1 to 2 modules per week. So it's a 16-week class. We got 19 modules. So obviously some weeks we're going to do more than one. For some people, it feels like a lot of information. What I try to do is make it a lot of baby steps. Okay, so everything builds on previous things. If you disappear for 2 or 3 weeks, unless you're watching every video and keeping up, you're really, really going to have a hard time keeping up with the class. Every class, almost every class, there will be both lecture time and work time. Some classes will be more of one than the other. Um, for online students, uh, there's obviously no attendance because we're not showing up anywhere, but I will judge your attendance based on participation. So, two important dates in this class. These are hard deadlines. And what I mean by hard deadlines is these are dates that I have identified that are sort of do or die dates for people. And what I've found after teaching this class a whole bunch of times is that students who can't get the first assignment done in the first week or so aren't going to pass the class, because the first assignment you're going to see is dead simple. And so if you don't have the first assignment submitted by the 30th of this month, I will drop you. It will be as if this never happened, because I will drop you before what's called the census date, which means you get a refund. It won't show up on your transcript. It'll be like we never had this conversation, which is good for you. It's much better than me leaving you in the class and we get to the end of the semester, you're like, oh man, I forgot about this class. Yeah, sorry. And I can't do anything except give you an F, which I hate. So that's the first deadline, A1. I want you to have A1 through A5, so the first 5 assignments done by March 22nd. Now, remember, 19 modules in the class. So the first 5 are, well, first of all, they're the 5 easiest assignments in the class. If I had to do them in front of you right now by typing them from scratch, I could do all 5 of them in about 30 minutes. Now that doesn't mean it's going to take you 30 minutes, but I've done them enough times. I'm just saying there's not a lot of work involved. It's mostly like thinking. So the first 5 assignments have to be done by about the halfway point in the class. That is a date where it gives me time, if you don't have those turned in, to drop you from the class, and I will. And in that case, you'll get a W, which shows up as a withdrawal on your transcript. It's still better than an F. But if you can't have a third of the assignments done by the halfway point in the class, what that tells me is that you're so far behind in the class that you're not going to be able to catch up. And that's true for 99% of my students. Now, you may think you're the exception, and that's the interesting thing about that phenomenon, is that everybody thinks they are the exception. Like, I'm just going to work really hard. If you say to me, I don't have these all turned in, but I really want to stay in the class and I think I can catch up, we need to have a real conversation about whether that's actually possible or not. Because maybe the circumstances in your life the first part of the semester were just really rough or whatever. That happens. So, we'll have a conversation. If you want to stay in the class, I'm not going to just be like, no, I'm dropping you. I don't hate students, so I'm not going to do that. So, but I do want you to succeed and not have a situation where you get to the end of the class and you're regretting being here.